Heyo everybody, Haku here with my live reactional read-through for Kubera Season 2, episodes 170 to 173. We are finishing off the loser arc, and I am very excited because we're kind of in the climax of Season 2, and we're sort of gonna maybe finish some of this climax. So we have 4 chapters here, and then 4 chapters titled Asha, and then 3 more titled something, and then the afterward. So I'm going to be doing 4 this week, then 4 next week for that section, and then 4 the final week for the last 3 and the afterward. And then I don't know if I will do a tier list for the characters on the same week that I do that video and then just go into season 3 the next week, or if I'll do the end of season 2 one week and then the ranking the next week and then starting season 3 the next week. Not sure which I'll do. It depends on how much time I have. If I have a bunch of time to do them both in the same week, I'll do them both in the same week, but we'll see how it goes. Either way, we're going to see more about why this is titled the Loser, and I was saying last time, I think it's going to have to do with a lot of them. We saw how Samfadi last time, it's like, okay, she just needs somebody to have revenge against. She needs to think that Yuta's bad, and I was like, maybe Asha's also in a similar situation, because she talks about revenge and everything. And just in general, I think Loser is going to refer to all of them doing so much, and then still things not working out, like Samfadi doing all of this for revenge and still not getting revenge on Yuta in the end. Or Asha, like the big thing is, Lorraine could have screwed everything up at the end there, because Asha did all of this terrible evil stuff, but because she did terrible evil stuff to Lorraine, it came back to bite her, and maybe she has sacrificed all this good, all of these lives. She's done all this evil stuff in order to try to get her revenge, and hey, maybe it's not just fully selfish. Maybe there is some like greater good in what she's doing. But either way, she's done everything to achieve this, and then Lorraine may have messed it up at the final moment, and it's like all of that horrible thing, all the horrible things she's done may be for nothing. Like, she may not even succeed in the end. And then it could also refer to Sagara, because the hints have been there that Sagara is just being lied to. Sagara has done all of this stuff in the human realm, and we don't know if God Kubera is just straight up lying. We don't know if she is just going to be totally screwed over here. Like there have been hints that things that Vishnu has said, and that ties into Asha too, things that Vishnu has said, you know, may not be entirely trustworthy, and basically every character has been saying you cannot trust God Kubera. So Kubera very easily could be betraying Sagara, and we don't even really know what, like, we know what a lot of these other characters want somewhat, but we don't know what God Kubera wants. Like, what's his purpose in all of this? He's doing all kinds of craziness. He's stopping Lee's from killing him right now. So what does he want? What is it that he wants in all of this? Either way, let's read these, let's discuss as we go through them, let's read the afterwards after each chapter, and see what the rest of Loser has. So yeah, I'm thinking that things could just go badly for basically everybody here. Like, it feels like the setup is there for things to go badly for pretty much everyone. When there are only 3 left, the structure changes completely depending on whom I kill. Okay, so that's maybe why I was saying, why do we need 2? So it's when there are 3 left, it changes depending on who she kills. And the 3 we have left are Lee's, God Kubera, and I'm blanking on the name, Lila. So at this point, depending on which of those 3 is killed, maybe there's a different outcome. You've already memorized up until there. Amazing. Well, the choice is yours. As long as you don't forget the list of requirements based on each choice, you have a 90% chance of winning, no matter what path you take. The list of requirements. If I don't do all of these, will my chances of winning drop a lot? They won't just drop. You'll basically fail completely. Since the more time passes, the less chances you have to turn around your mistakes. With less than 3 people remaining, a mistake is essentially ensuring defeat. Although, depending on the type of mistake, it's not like there's absolutely no way to turn it around. Or maybe they weren't counting God Kubera in this, and this is maybe potentially Asha learning about the future. And it's like, okay, you're going to lose almost guaranteed unless you get to those final three, and then whoever you kill in the final three is important, and that adds weight to Asha's decision of the final three, the one she killed to be Saha rather than Lee's, potentially. But then the more time passes, the less chances you have to turn around your mistakes. With less than 3 people remaining, a mistake's essentially ensuring defeat. So I wonder if it's Asha saw this future, and Asha's like, okay, I have to do all this evil stuff. I have to kill and re-kill and gain powers and all of that. And because it's a future sight kind of thing, and you're trying to get to this future where you win, then it's like, okay, I have to do it all by the book, because like butterfly effect, if you do even one thing differently, the future could change so much that your chances of winning, again, just drop completely away. Although depending on the type of mistake, it's not like there's absolutely no way to turn it around. In the event that you kill the Priest of Light, as soon as the priest is killed, his fiancée also dies with him. Okay, so we're seeing some of the future there. We have episode 170, Loser Part 6. I didn't even get to do a proper test for teleportation because of the chances of it going wrong. I never thought I would use it for attacking someone. Are you surprised, Asha? Of course, you must be. But what can you do? Since your magics are obviously quicker than mine within casting range, I had no choice but to ram you first as soon as I got close. You really don't have a clue about the world. How could the great Ashirahiro get hit by a car like that? Well, I guess people are still people in the end, no matter how great they are. Once this frail body of ours gets smashed to bits, what can you do? Even Saha, the top-ranked magician, died absurdly. Man, that again is crazy. If Asha did all of this to try to get to that 90% chance, and then right at the end, because the fiancé didn't die with him, Asha's entire thing was messed up. I'm not curious about what you were planning on doing in the future. Sure, you must have had your reasons. Since you're a smart girl, you wouldn't have done this kind of thing without thinking. However, and we have the engine will self-destruct, please evacuate a 6-mile radius. So basically, even like we're getting into like universal level stuff. And Lorraine's basically like, hey, even if you were planning to stop the universe from blowing up, my revenge. Much like all of these other characters that are like, I don't care, my revenge. Once again, Lorraine's like, I don't care, my revenge. Even if there were some kind of grand purpose that someone like me could never even dream of, since the time when you exploited me and killed Saha, all of your plans have been evil to me, Asha. That kind, righteous, devoted person, putting him through so much and killing him in such a hideous way. Murderer, monster, trash. Trash. You're trash. Well, let's go now. Together. Password, hint, engagement ring. We'll be oxidized with this car. Isn't this the perfect ending for trash like us that's going to hell? And we have a smashing noise. And Yuta stops her. Yuta using insight because of the eye color. He lifts the car. Asha, get up. Can you say any magic? Use Hotiasfin's first. Bhavati Indra. Damn. Is she dead? She must be dead this time, right? No. Seeing how she survived... Sorry for the cuts, I keep sneezing. Sorry about that if there's a bunch of cuts. Is she dead? She must be dead this time, right? No. Seeing how she survived before, she must be wearing resistant clothes. Alright then. Hoti Marut. And we have... Quiet? Killing her right now won't make anything better. His eyes changed and he used the canceling ability. If you're not going to use a recovery magic, then stop wasting time and go to Lee's. Do you intend to leave Lee's to die like this? Wait. Why are you protecting another human? What's she to you? What's so important about her that you're even using your eyes to stop me? Are you up to something else? Are you not actually on my side? Everyone's lost it. Maybe it's called loser because everyone's lost it. Are you not actually on my side? Or do you have some kind of relationship with her? Are you too close? Do you like her? Like Lise? Again, someone other than me? Asha, please, snap out of it. Wait, what are you doing here? I told you to just stay where you were and do as I instructed. I told you to just do as I said. Oh yeah, he needs to be blocking all of the Shura's Transcendentals at this point, right? Why are you getting involved in something that I didn't even tell you to do? You're ruining everything. I'm screwed because of you. Again, even one little thing that goes off awry just messes up so much for Asha. It's all ruined because of you, but I have to win. I still don't know why you chose Asha. It seems like even that remarkable intellect of hers is meaningless now. Do you think that a soul that collapses even under this much pressure could handle even greater power than this? This stupid game means nothing. If I can't win, then no one can. And now we see a bunch of flames or energy. Oh, nice, I knew it. He started making progress as soon as the golden light came back. And shall we say our goodbyes in advance, Kubera? And she actually used his name. You may disappear now, but I'll remember your sacrifice forever. I'll always think of you whenever I see Ananta. Thanks for everything. Is that it? Yeah, that's it. Why? Do you want something more grandiose? If you do, I can make it sound more fancy. Forget it. There's no need for fancy speech. I wonder then, if he's planning to willingly sacrifice himself to try to bring Ananta back, maybe there's something going on with the universe that Kubera thinks thinks that Ananta needs to be alive for. And we get cliffhung there. Okay. Very cool chapter. I think we're seeing now how the gods have used people. Because we don't know what Kubera's plan is. Kubera really could have easily been using Sagara this whole time, and we saw that. And we're also seeing Asha just breaking under the pressure. Because, again, Asha did all this evil stuff, but imagine you get told by a literal god, okay, this is how the future is going to go, but you have to follow it exactly. But things are difficult, like the best laid plans of mice and men have to go awry. Like, no matter how much you say, okay, we need to do this exactly by the book, things kind of go off the rails. Because of Yuta's involvement, Yuta's like a wild card in the existence of the story. Because of Yuta's existence, because of letting Lise live and doing all this with Lise, it just feels like things have gone so much off the rail. And having that much pressure on you of you need to do all of this crazy stuff and you need to do it all right and you need to follow this future, that's an incredible amount of pressure. And Yuta is thinking, I'm assuming here with what he was thinking, he's thinking about Vishnu, like, you're taking a mortal and Asha is extremely competent. But you take even the most extremely competent mortal, they're going to break when you're putting them under this much pressure. And we're finally starting to see all of the pressure now at the last moment as things are starting to fall apart. All of this pressure is collapsing Asha. And we have, Lorraine, everything's messed up. Asha was going to kill her again, but Yuta stopped it. But now Lorraine's also kind of maybe getting to hear some of this stuff. We have Yuta, because of the insight, being able to really tell what's going on within them. So, yeah, very, very good stuff. But before I move to the next, we get to go read the afterword. Okay, the afterword says, this is a rare scene where the right hand is visible. True, I didn't even really think about it. And then, I've seen you wearing that necklace before. What was it? Then, it's a traffic accident that would obviously have killed an ordinary person. Then I want to get short leg cut. I think maybe talking about Sagara's haircut, maybe? I tried to exclude important scenes, so the review ended up being incredibly short. The loser chapter is almost here. Since I have to finish every week, time goes by really quickly, and I'm getting older too. Empathy 246. Saying this as we know that the story has gone on for like what, over 7 more years at least because of the amount of chapters. When was this posted? Posted 2016. Nearly 10 more years. So Empathy 246. Don't want to spoil myself with any thumbnails. Let's keep reading. 171 starts with the portal thingy. I guess that's just what the portal looks like up close. It's maybe always looked like that up close. We just usually saw it as a pillar of light off in the distance. We get Clophe. It's strange. Sakura's absolutely trusting and following him, even with the situation being this serious. She didn't even give us a detailed explanation. Plus, she trusts those damn Garudas. Shouldn't she have started out being suspicious of the outside situation when her transcendental skill stopped and the human showed up? Why on earth is she just standing there so calmly? It's as if there's some kind of guarantee that we're absolutely going to succeed, and we just have the gripper shot as she's thinking, Clophe, where's Clophe? Clophe? He's supposed to keep watch over here. Looking for Clophe. Over here. Huda? What have you done to Clophe? Hold on. There's no need to raise your guard. I'm doing this for your sake. Ryagata and Pingata wouldn't listen, since they're very closely involved with that whole thing. But you and Clophe, you two are different. Isn't it obvious how bad the current situation is? Don't you feel like something's wrong? It feels like you shouldn't keep staying there, doesn't it? What are you trying to say? For now, why don't we talk a bit further over there? I'm anxious being here. If it's something important, you should report it to Sakura and talk about it all together. If you go down, I'll kill Clophe. As long as you listen to me and do as I say, I can guarantee the safety of you and your brother. Clophe is the L machine. Just always L's. Constant L's. Eternal L's. Loser might just be referring to Clophe. So, stay quiet and don't do anything stupid. Then we have Loser Part 7. We have Clophe Part 7. Then all of the crashing against a barrier now. Lilia, how are things over there? Everything's basically been taken care of. Thankfully no one was seriously injured in the building that collapsed just now. There are kind of a lot of wounded people, but the recovery magicians are going around healing them. We don't have a total for the damage to the residential area, so we'll leave it aside. There are 74 confirmed deaths so far. I wish they had gone to the temple or the Magicians' Union earlier. They got what they deserved, standing around just to gawk at transcendental magic while all hell's breaking loose. Then, when something goes wrong, all they do is complain that the rescue operation's too slow. What on earth is going through their heads? Still, it's a good thing that it lasted this long, thanks to Agni being here. Otherwise, it would have already been destroyed. This type of damage might not have even occurred if a fire magician greater than Brilith had summoned Agni. Just like how not a single building collapsed in Atera during the Great Upheaval. What? Like, I feel like Kurigama is writing her to be the most hateable person, just always the most L takes all the time. I mean, she was finally getting on something with being like, hey, you're gonna get killed if you just stand around looking at the Transcendentals like, oh, the barrier will hold. That was the closest she's had to a W take. Other than that, it's all just been racism and blaming people who have done good things. Then, I know that the god chooses a summoner, but how could someone like me complain? But honestly, it's hard to understand. Jibril was the greatest fire magician on the planet, so obviously I accept it, but Brilith is just... I'm way higher in terms of magic ranking. What on earth was Agni thinking? Hey, I know what you're trying to say, but uttering something like that is blasphemy. I recorded it. I'm going to report you as soon as this incident is all cleared up. Good! Take her to HR! Can't you be a bit flexible? Doesn't it make you feel better always doing everything according to the rules? Or does it always make you feel better doing everything according to the rules? I became head of the Magicians' Union in my 20s by living according to the rules, unlike someone else who's only ever been a professor this whole time. You should get an answer if you think just a little about why Agni didn't choose you. You little. Hey, I could have been the stupid head of the Magicians Union too. I refused because I hated having to call Brilith priest every day. I was originally supposed to be the head of the Atera Magic Union. Hold on. She'll completely lose her mind if she finds out about Saha. Just let it slide and don't answer. Fine, let's not talk about it. Now, instead of arguing, let's go check over the... Weird. Okay. Okay. I see. Fine, let's not talk about it. Now, instead of arguing, let's go and check out the damage situation over in the residential area. Lilia, how many times can you use Hotias Fiends now? Okay, I didn't recognize this person. I was like, have we seen them before? But since they're saying she, and she'll lose it if she finds out about Saha, was she the other potential marriage candidate if Lorraine had, not worked out and stuff, and Saha hadn't found out about them trying to change it? Was that the other potential marriage candidate, and that's why they'd be upset about Saha's death? I mean, not that anyone needs an excuse to be upset about Saha's death, given that he was kind of the ruler of the planet, but specifically since they're just showing it to each other secretly and not telling this person. Then, Lilia, how many times can you use Hotias Fiends now? 14 times. And now we cut over to Rana. What's going on? It looks like the damage is pretty serious over in Rentalo. It couldn't completely offset the shock at the moment that the transcendental energy hit the city. That shock alone was enough to cause buildings with weak foundations to collapse. It looks like they could use some recovery magicians, so I'd better head over there. I'll go too. Why? You can't use recovery magic. I can't use them once a day. I'm thinking maybe saying I can use them once a day. Come on, translators. But I've never seen that one time be successful. It's been before, you just haven't seen it. Anyways, I can use recovery magic too, so don't be stubborn and stay here, Ron. Don't try to force your way onto the recovery magic team when you can't even use it. You need to stay here where you can at least be of some help. So, there are 6 people including me. They're short on recovery personnel over by the residential area, so let's start there. I guess I can't maintain a complete barrier when Brilith's condition isn't good. It would have been fine if this had been a Terra. With my energy level being this low, there's no way to deal damage to the Gentarva, or just to Gentarva, with his advanced regeneration abilities. I have no choice but to maintain the barrier and try to hold out here. Judging from the fact that Chandra and Cossack haven't returned yet, it looks like they're still in battle. Would it have been better for me to just help them attack that stage 5 Rakshasa? But if I had done that, this entire city would have been destroyed, rather than just a few buildings collapsing. Agni? Yeah, there's not really much point, because if the whole city's destroyed, even if you stop somebody, then it's like, yay, we've saved the town. There literally is no town. So it's like, you need to work on what you're actually protecting. Agni, something strange is appearing over by the Forest of Light. And now we have a massive portal opening in the sky. Perfect. Just a little bit more now. A little bit more. And is it stopping? Huh? Why did it stop again? I only need to do a bit more now. Shoot, the golden light went away again. I know you've gotten weak, but this is ridiculous. You're not doing this on purpose, right? I'll wait a bit longer since I've already waited anyway, so finish it off properly this time. And is this Lee's back up? Nope, it's Asha. So Asha fully confronts them. Why are you just standing there? Kill her before she tries anything. He can't. King of Snakes. You can't kill me. To be continued. Okay. Asha's having her moment. Let's see what happens. We only have 2 more. Okay. Let's see the afterward. Almost forgot to change over to the screen afterward this time. I don't think I've ever used Clophe as a thumbnail before, but it came out so pretty that I did. I really do like Clophe. I really do. That Clophe lying there is a real folding screen, I admit it. He says he's gathering momentum, believing that the day will come when he will finally explode. Even Kurigan bringing up Clophe just constantly getting taken out. Calling somebody who loses a lot a folding screen is great. Clophe is the folding screen from now on. Lilia has a profile in episode 126 of part 2. She's pureblood, 26 years old, and the head of the Aero Plateau Magic Guild. The reason she was mentioned as Saha's fiancé in the side story is because she has the qualifications to do so. Okay, so Lilia, is that the one we're seeing here? At the time, he was mentioned as a candidate. He was only 20 years old and not yet the head of the Magic Guild, but he was a promising talent. But why were only pure-blooded women, Lorraine, Lana, and Lilia mentioned as candidates for his fiancé? Sa's a quarterback. He really does do everything. Sa's a quarterback, so why didn't he find a partner among quarterback women? Are you curious? If you're wondering what Natasha's magic ranking is, please watch part 2 of episode 129. It's surprisingly high. Aaron, next to her, is also surprisingly high. It's not surprising that both of them are priests or magic union leaders, even if their rankings are similar. Okay, maybe it's surprising that neither are priests or magic union leaders, even if their rankings are similar. Eloth University, where they're professors. You know, Eloth University is like the big city of magic and everything. So, makes sense. They're professors there, and they're some of the strongest on the planet. Empathy 254. I want to see more. Erin, I think, is the one with the dark hair. I really want to see more. Like, you know, she's just been around. It's one of those, she's around, but it'd be really cool if she did something sort of characters. I really, really like her. But either way, we're halfway through, so let's go to 172. Only 2 more in this section of the story, so let's go. I'm so excited. Hotias Fiends, thank you so much. No one's badly hurt too badly, right? Go and get light wounds healed outside. Phew, they say there are more people trapped inside. What should we do? I tried to restore the building using Hotias Fiends. I threw together building and Hoti. The building using Hotias Fiends, but it was just a waste. I can't believe it's actually good that things collapsed even though there are people buried. It's at times like this that I really don't understand this magic. I'll look for the buried people. You take these people and leave. Will you be okay on your own? We have no choice now. You used up all your recovery magic, right? The other buildings are lacking recovery personnel too. There's no telling how urgent the situation might be for the people trapped inside there. So, we can't just wait for help. I have no choice but to handle this myself for now. Then for now, I'll send these people up, and when other magicians show up, I'll send them right back down. Be careful and don't push yourself too hard. There's still the danger of more collapsing. So it's good that the buildings collapse, because Hotias Fiends rewinds things back. So you rewind the building back with all the people in it, and all the people are good too? You're the one who should be careful. Make sure those people don't get hurt. And then we have part 2, episode 172. So instead of having to do each person individually, you can just do the building that collapsed with the people in it and all of them are good? And that's why it's beneficial? I think is what I was getting from that. Loser part 8. Okay, we're here. What? What are you doing? And I'm still a little bit confused at why, like, there's a bunch of Shura here, so they're all silhouetted up. Why don't they just, you know, jump them? Like, some of them might die in the process, but still. You could kill them before they ran away with Hotivayu, right? Why did you just stand there staring into space? It won't change anything anyway. The humans simply came in and left as they pleased. My power has returned, so let's continue. Don't try to weasel your way out of this. What on earth are you up to? If I'm up to something else, then will you tell me to stop this right away? You haven't trusted me 100% from the very start, right? You're the one who said that you didn't care, even if you couldn't trust me completely, as long as I summoned a Nanta for you. What the? It won't do any good to change your attitude like that now. So maybe what he's saying by this is he's, like, if he has another plan, it's fine as long as he summons a Nanta. Is it possible that he's not just going to summon a Nanta, but basically jailbreak everything that's out in the abyss or whatever. So, like, multiple higher beings will be brought back, including Ananta? What the? It won't do any good to change your attitude like that now. I expected that girl to show up, but not this. This isn't right. Something's gone wrong. Then there's a chance that the final result could change too. If you want me to stop, then tell me right now. This is your last chance to cancel everything. If you wait any longer, I won't even be able to cancel it. Cancel? Cancel all of this. A chance to see Ananta. A chance that will never return. No, keep going. Just keep going. And again, the Ananta who comes back might not be the proper Ananta that she knows, you know? Like was hinted at before. Or Ananta could come back and be like, why the fuck would you bring me back to life? What are you thinking? Why would I cancel this now? What else could you possibly be up to? Honestly, you wouldn't dare betray Ananta twice if you have even a little bit of a conscience, right? And we have Iriagata and Pingata's reactions. Obviously, you need to sacrifice yourself to atone for what you did. Of course, that's only natural. There's definitely no way I'm going to lose, since the ending to this whole thing has been guaranteed from the start. And again, we still don't know what God Kubera is up to. Lise opens her eyes, and she's with Yuta. So instead of killing her, Asha was able to just grab her and leave. Yuta? How? Sorry, I didn't realize I was holding your hand. Yuta's on Asha's side. He probably doesn't want me touching him. In the end, you failed. I knew this would happen. There was no chance of you going in there and succeeding anyway. Since the next best plan after you failed was far more likely to succeed, then then why did you... to let you know your place? I'm trying to show you that you can't do anything properly, even when it's all prepared for you. I want you to realize even a little bit just how ridiculous it looked seeing you go on about getting revenge. Wait, what? Prepared for me? If anything, you probably got in my way. Do you know what kind of state I was in? I was so short on vigor that I couldn't even use a transcendental skill. Even the Hoti Kubera that I barely managed to use disappeared almost right away. Whose fault is all of that? You happened to tell me that at that moment, and I didn't have any vigor left. Ultimately, you didn't want me to succeed. You may say that you prepared everything for me, but in reality, nice excuse. Why is it my fault that you didn't have any vigor? It's your fault for being so mentally weak that your vigor can drop just from hearing a few words. Managing vigor is entirely the person's own responsibility. Have you ever even once seen me unable to use magic because of vigor? Is that so? So if someone bleeds when they get stabbed, it's the person's own fault for being so weak that they bleed, and there's nothing wrong with the person who stabbed them. Is that what you're saying? I knew you weren't the type to acknowledge your own mistakes, but I had no idea it was this serious. Fine. Then what can you do? What can you do against that guy? Again, I love this conversation. I really like this relationship between them, like now. When Lisa started talking back to her, and when Asha's like being brutally honest, but maybe not brutally honest. It really feels like there's more that Asha's not telling her. If things had gone according to plan, I was supposed to show up and finish up the job while you had collapsed. Was supposed to? That sounds like you didn't manage to finish it. Something unexpected came up, so I missed the chance. But it doesn't matter. I'll just create another chance. You should be grateful that I saved you. What? Grateful? Even after killing Saha, you insisted that it was a sacrifice, and that you were being considerate. Now you're telling me to be grateful? Do I still look like the kind of person who'll listen to you and do every single thing that you tell me to? Do you think I took all that crap from you because I couldn't talk back or get angry at you? You're the one who sent me in there knowing that I would fail in the first place, and now you tell me to be grateful. Are you insane? The only thing I will criticize, not about this specifically, but about Kubera as a whole, is that it feels like we spent a very, very, very long time with Lise, thinking that Asha had the best, interest at heart or whatever. Lise just, like capitulating to everything Asha said. We spent a really long time with that, and it feels like we just very, very quickly went through the process of no, Asha was actually genuinely just being awful the whole time, and Lee's sort of accepts that and moves forward. I know you can say that it was like a long time of her not accepting it because it was the whole series. It just feels like instead of this progression through the like Asha heel turn, so to speak, and Lee's developing this sort of personality to be able to stand up, it feels like it feels like it went by very quickly. Like it feels like it took Lee's a very, very long time to go from just doing nothing to doing Hoti Kubera to then very quickly being really, really strong and having this sort of personality. It just feels like we came through this really, really quickly. And I don't know if it's like a situation of Kurigam is like, if Kurigam's thinking people will get bored because I've spent all this time developing them in Calibloom, if people will think that it's taking too long if we also spend a very, very long time at the next stage of their development, and so Kurigam was trying to hurry it along. I don't know if that's the case, but it just feels like, mentioning Calibloom, we got so much deep, detailed development on all the characters, and yet it feels like after Calibloom, things have changed for the characters extremely drastically, more dramatically than it has in the entire series, and yet it happened much more quickly than all of the other developments. Then, geez, you sure talk big for a foolish girl who doesn't know her place. I was going to just leave, but I had better tell you this. About your dad, Rowley's. Everyone says he went missing, right? But he didn't. I know. I was the last person to see him on a transport ship coming here from Carte. What? I killed him, your dad. Your fate would completely change if your dad were alive, in the best way possible. You'll be able to imagine it if you just think about it a bit. The life that you would have had, or that you would have lived as Rowley's daughter after your dad arrived safely. But that's not fair, is it? Since you already have so much. She lifts the sword, and Yuta stops her. Lise, no, you have to let Asha go for now. No, let go. Let go. So Asha's just going to let whatever's going on with the portal happen? She's just going to be like, oh well. Let go, I'm going to kill her. I'll kill her, Asha Rahiro. Obviously, you should start without such an excessive advantage. And I thought Asha didn't have much time left anyway. So it's like there's no way that she can just let this happen, yeah? It's no good if you're the only one living such a comfortable life, right? I can't believe you trusted me and followed me around without knowing that. It really was hilarious, Kubera Lise. And she uses the stealth function. That was the last time that I saw Asha at age 17. I feel like, wasn't Asha supposed to die soon, though? So, does Asha actually go in and interfere with this and try to get her revenge and everything? And, you know, I could see a situation where Asha has this grand sacrifice to give her life, trying to not be a loser, trying to stop whatever's going on, trying to get her revenge. And whether purposefully or not, she could have let Lise die. She could have let Lise die or killed Lise so many times along the way at this point, but she kept sparing her and kept sparing her. And maybe it is just because she's Ral's daughter, but in the end I could see this changing Lise to where Lise takes what Asha said to heart about not letting her emotions get to her so that she can keep her vigor up. And it turns Lise into this darker, more jaded person that she has to work through. But either way, that's it for that chapter. We have one more afterward, and then, we can read the last chapter here. The afterward this time says, Rao Lee's the shining champion of the fighting championship, but he's still human. then this part is the point where Heidi and Luz, or Luce? Heidi and Roosh fell. If you compare it to the background at that time, you can see that something very big has fallen. Heidi, who said she would look for Lise, obviously can't find Lise and is only saving the other survivors. And then the kids in the top row were probably Upanistri, right? Upanis, I'm guessing, right? It may seem like Lisa's ability to talk back has suddenly improved. If you look at the scene where she first meets Asha at the beginning of part... Oh my god! Did Kurigam completely read me? If you look at the scene where she first meets Asha at the beginning of part 1, she had this level of ability to talk back from the beginning, so why didn't Lise respond? Okay, then Empathy 258. What on earth are we going to do with this next chapter? Like, after this chapter, this wasn't going where I thought it would go at all with the final confrontation with God Kubera. Like, what do we do? Asha doesn't have that much longer to live. How can she just go, throw her hand... I was going to say throw her hands up. Throw her hand up. Oh, well, never mind, I guess. Revenge is waiting, I guess. And God Kubera, potentially, is just actually going to bring Ananta back? What on earth is happening? Either way, one more chapter. Let's go to 173. Okay, 173, final part of Loser. I mean... I don't even know what's left at this point. We're back to Rana, cutting into the collapsed building. This is the end of the building, but there's no answer when I call. Have they already been rescued, but they just failed to reach me? For now, I'd better get out of here. I feel like I've come in too deep. We have a crash. Oh, shoot, another shock. Hoti brought, and then a rock hits her in the head. She stumbles, and Ron grabs her as things collapse. Ron gets hit in the head by a boulder. How did you... What do you mean, how? I followed you. You can't even break a single rock without magic, and yet you sure are fearless. What would you have done if I didn't follow you? She gets embarrassed. I saw all this coming and came in because I could handle it. I can still use my magic. Why are you here and not on the Sky Tower? Well, that's because I thought the most important thing right now was for me to be by my wife's side. Wife? I thought you wanted to marry me. If you're not my wife, then what are you, honey? Stop messing around and let go of me. This is no time for this. I actually hesitated a bit on the Sky Tower, because I was afraid to have to use the bow of neutrality. But Agni suddenly told me to put it down, or to put down the bow and follow you. Agni. Then Loser Part 9. And we have the shot that was fired. Gandharva, your arm. Ah, it's not because I got hit, so don't mind me. I'll regenerate after I rest a bit anyway. Anyway, I didn't think Agni would use another god's item himself. The penalty for that will be pretty severe. He must have been desperate since Sagata's plan's almost complete. I see. So he took a gamble. With this much time, my companion must have escaped by now. It would be better to back off and not force ourselves. All right. Rana, what's that? What do you mean? It's lightning. Lightning's really common in Rindala. Rana, are you kidding me? So, there are no more people who are trapped? Nope. Lilia must have made a mistake when she was checking everyone. She said that she's sorry. Lilia? That's strange. She's not the type of person to make a mistake like this. Rana, I know that's lightning too, but the lightning isn't the problem right now. Can you see that? Above the lightning. That? I'm not sure. My eyesight isn't as good as yours. But what's Chandra doing right now instead of guarding the barrier? It would have been the perfect defense, since the barrier of darkness is the same attribute as Chandra. Earlier, Chandra and Cossack. He looks over. She can't see that. And it's massive. Oh, so is this something that only certain people can see? Maybe regular normal humans can't see it? And that's why? Ananta, the first king of the Anantas, shaped like snakes. His attributes are the earth and sky. From hand-to-hand combat, regeneration, and transcendental skills, to even terrain and skill compatibility, he is the most powerful being in the universe, without a single weakness. Hence his power must coexist with a soul which can control it properly. Otherwise, if this is not the case... Hey, you're back. But it's too bad. It's already finished. There's nothing you can do now. He has disappeared now too. He sacrificed himself as an offering to summon Ananta to this land. Is the self-destruct on the car going to activate? In other words, the car being the insane, plot device used for this arc. In other words, the person who can close that passage has also disappeared, which means that I've won. Ultimately, you ended up ruining 2 planets because of your greed for power. You wouldn't dare blame this on us, would you? Honestly, you were even more active than we were. So, why don't I thank you? Thanks for helping us get this far. She is being too much of a smug brat right now. She is just asking for, writing-wise, she is just asking for everything to go so incredibly wrong. She is talking too much shit for someone in car exploding distance. You may have killed Kuberas for your own purpose, but in the end it was basically the same as you helping us. Think about it. It wouldn't make any sense to hand the chance to become the most powerful being in the universe over to some human, would it? It wouldn't even be funny. Clearly you wouldn't even be able to stand a fraction of that power before losing your mind. You were fooled, idiot. Unless Sagara is being fooled because God Kubera is going to give the power of Ananta to Asha, making Asha the most, well, I guess Ananta, making Ananta the most powerful being in the universe, so it won't be the Ananta that Sagara recognizes, and it sets up Lisa's journey to now get revenge on Asha, who is the most powerful being in the universe. That power isn't something that any human should dare to want. Anyway, now that it's all finished, all that's left is for you to just die right there. Since he is gone anyway, there's no way for you to take possession of that power. I can cause a delay, until I take possession of it, right? Until then, you and I, remaining time until self-destruct 4 seconds, are going to disappear together. 3, 2, Hoti, Vishnu. Loser, next chapter Asha, to be continued. That is a brutal cliffhanger. An absolutely brutal cliffhanger. What on earth? I don't want to get spoiled by thumbnails or anything. I have no idea where this is going at this point. Insane stuff. We have one more afterward though, so let's read that before I continue. This is the end of the loser chapter. The meaning of loser is something that can be thought of in different ways. There's no right answer. I thought about various meanings when I wrote it. I mean, like I said before, everyone's kind of losing something at this point. Everyone's plans are going wrong. Every person's plans are going wrong in some way, at least. And then, on top of that, there's all the things that people have lost. On top of that, there's Clophe being the folding screen. Then... you can't use Hoti Kubera here, remember. It's not that Rana can't use Hoti Kubera, it's just that magic can't be used in this area. Then the color's different when Ron uses it with the bow. For those of you who are curious about Ananta's original attributes, you have your questions answered. Some people have been expecting it to be Sky attribute because of the lightning effect that's been appearing recently, but long before there were already people who predicted Sky attribute in episode 51 of part 2. Okay, so it's one of those things where his natural attribute is Earth because he is an Ananta, he's the Ananta, but then his personal attribute is Sky, right? So were he human, he would be like a Kubera, Indra. He would be Earth, Sky. Then we have wife was used to express that Ron's usual way of speaking wasn't refined. It's not a court term for the Joseon dynasty, but it's used in the current context with a lower meaning than madam or yobel. then many people were uncomfortable with this, thinking it was disparaging our language, so I changed the dialogue. I changed the dialogue to say that it was on the same level as my wife. Is that okay now? Then the last cut is Asha's back. Some people have confused it with Saha because of the yellowish color correction. There's no way Saha would appear here. That first note is wild. What do you mean disparaging your language because of the term used for wife? Like, come on. And then empathy 241. Okay. Well, that's the end for now. I have been brutally cliffhung. You've been able to hear that at like the end of 2 videos this week. That loud crack, that is my elbow. I'm sitting here with my mouse the entire time, and then I go to move my arm and my elbow is like, I have been still for like an hour. Time to crack. Either way though, thank you so much for your support. Thank you for watching. It was very good. I have no idea where it's going, and I'm excited to see where it continues on. We have barely anything left in the season. So yeah, this is absolutely nuts. I'm excited for next week. Thank you for watching. Like if you did like the video. Comment down there to tell me what you thought of this week's set of chapters, my thoughts and reaction. Subscribe for more Kubera, much more on the channel. Follow on Twitter if you want. If you want a link to the Discord server, it's free and open for anyone. If you want to help support the channel by sharing or dropping a super thanks, it's very appreciated. If you want to help support the channel, help me keep making videos, get One Piece videos a bit early and get your name at the end of videos, then you can hit join down below to become a member. Or go to patreon.com/Haku of the Tubes, or a link will be in the description to become a patron. Thank you to people who are members and patrons. I am sorry once again. I still have not had time to update this. I really need to remember to do it before I record. Every time I sit down to record and I'm like, dang it, I forgot to do that. I'm sorry, but thank you, Tristan Regulars, Evan Hawley, Ember T Booster, Magical Girls, Effernono, J.A., and the D-Man, Cheriton Student, David Langstaff, Slayer Candidates, S.G. and Stan Cedar, and Pure Elements, Pater Dial, and Elsa the Storyteller. Sorry that this is a little out of date. I need to update it. Sorry. Thank you, though, and I'll see you all next time.